talent and skill, it's everything. I didn't know it all. I had to go and find out much more. You have to go for it, you have to commit to it, you have to feel confident to be able to do that, you have to believe in yourself.
Kate, thank you very much for taking the time.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
You may now know the Titanic is a big movie China allowed important in China. So you and Leo are the first two actors and actresses, very famous star, and the new generation get to know. So that's why you have lots of fan base. Weird company issue is kind of like IMDb in China. You're rated very top with Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh
And a lot of questions we came up today is from the audience, from the users, is that how much need talents versus hard work to be this good in performance?
You know, I mean, talent and skill it's everything as an actor. I mean, I think that, you know, you can't sustain a career unless you're actually good at your job. I mean, I think that some people become famous for a variety of different reasons, and often I think the media can be responsible for making someone often more famous than perhaps that person is ready to be. And I feel that when I became so famous with the success of Titanic so quickly, I almost wasn't ready to be a famous person. You know, I didn't know myself well enough. I didn't know how to cope with that level of fame. But also as an actor, I still had so much more to learn. And I knew that. I knew that I still had more skills to acquire and more experiences to have from life and from work. And I do feel very lucky that way back then, I was at least able to identify with the fact that I needed that as a person, as a young woman. I didn't know it all. I had to go and find out much more. And I have continued to be able to do that over the years, and I'm very, very lucky that I've had a lot of experiences since Titanic that have continued to sort of inform me as a person and change me and hopefully make me improve, you know, as an actor gradually over the years. But it's no, it's, you know, skill and talent is very, very important.
And now, 15 years later, when you look at the Titanic again, either in 20 minutes or in the, I just saw this whole picture. What came up to your mind?
Honestly, the first thing I thought was, my God, did we really look like that? I mean, I think we both look very, very different now. And also my American accent. My American accent, I don't think it was very good. You know, I watched the film and I think, and I know I worked really hard on it every day, but I watch it and I just think, I know I don't think my accent was very good.
But people don't care, you know.
People don't care. People don't care. Maybe people don't even notice, you know.
Don't do it.
Stay back. Don't come any closer.
Come on. Just give me your hand. I'll pull you back over.
No, stay where you are. I mean it. I'll let go.
And also, we check the thousands of the comments from the users. One of the things they admire you the most is how you handle the sudden fame which brought by the Titanic. After that, you know, the fame can be double-edged sword, but in your case, did not. But you continue to do the work you like, and a lot of question is, in such a young age, how do you keep yourself grounded and continue to produce a great work? Where that come from?
I don't know. I think it's, you know, I guess it does just come from me. I mean, I didn't have a privileged upbringing. You know, my parents are very real, very normal, grounded people. And so, you know, I'm similar to them. You know, I am the child that they raised me to be, and you know, I have very strong morals, and there was no reason why those things should have changed. You know, I didn't desire to be that famous, so I was able to acknowledge the fame and be grateful for it, but also to notice very quickly that it was so important that I continued to have my life and keep things as normal as possible. And it's a constant challenge to do that, you know. But I just do, you know. I just carry on with life like normal, and when you keep carrying on like normal, then people just start to respect the fact that that's how I live my life, and I'm, you know, very lucky.
I just saw the screening, and in China they did a private one. Is when I look at it as an audience, I appreciate it more this time because you know this is a big love story, but for that two young actor and actress carry this whole love story under so much pressure. We're not talking about a $200 million investment. How do you prepare the role, and how do you deal with to cope with the pressure? Still came out that great performance under that stress environment for 7 months.
I mean, Titanic, in a way, in terms of preparation for the film, for the character, you know, it was no different preparing for that film than it would be for really any other. Physically, I have to prepare more because
mentally and physically.
Yeah, because it was like running a marathon, you know. So whereas normally as an actor, you know, you can just prepare all of the emotional stuff, I had to prepare for the character, but I also had to. I did a lot of quite specific exercising and things just to physically stay strong, you know, because we had to spend a lot of time running and in cold water, and you know, you just have to kind of build up your endurance levels and your fitness levels to be able to get through something like that, you know. And it was tough. I mean, it was 7.5 months, and you know, tough conditions and long working hours, and you know, you just kind of get through it. And I was exhausted. I mean, I remember finishing the shoot and going home to England and falling asleep at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't wake up until 3 p.m. the next afternoon. I remember sleeping for 22 hours. But also, literally, it was completely bizarre.
In China, Titanic is big, but the most talk about is the year 2008. The two film was really resonated and impacted your fans in China is the April versus Hannah.
Oh yes, Revolutionary Road and the Reader.
It's very big in China. They debate and they discuss. The people love it. And how did you not act April, rather you become one? And especially in the breakfast scene, and also the other one people talk about is the courtroom scene in the Hannah, in the Readers. The question is, how did you prepare yourself to present such a full figure? You become the character rather than act in many ways.
I just try really hard, you know. You just, I just put myself into that frame of mind, you know. I'm just not Kate. I'm just become that person. I mean, I think with Revolutionary Road and the breakfast scene that you talk about at the end, you know, the writing of that scene is unbelievable. I mean, it was the most immaculately written scene. And because I had Leo, you know, we have that connection that served us so well, as actors, you know, because the trust that we have and that we've always had, we were really able to use in that scene, particularly in that scene, but also the way that that scene is lit. You know, it's lit completely differently almost to the rest of the film, so it has this kind of ethereal quality that really lent itself to the content of the scene between those two actors, between Frank and April. And also I have to hand it to Sam, you know, it was a brilliantly directed scene as well. And he was very supportive of both of us. And then with the courtroom scenes in The Reader, you know, everything felt so real. I mean, everything felt so real. and Stephen Daldry was just brilliant. I mean, he just held my hand right the way through it. And again, the dialogue was just incredible. And
We all wrote it together.
She wrote it. She wrote the report.
She was.
Is that true?
No.
Yes, you did.
Does it matter who did?
She wrote it.
It was her.
I need to see a sample of your handwriting.
My handwriting?
You've been working with all the great directors, and from Peter Jackson, the first one, and Ann Lee, and James Cameron. But from great actor point of view, what's make the great director stand out from the rest, a part of the rest? Really curious.
I don't even know if I would feel, comfortable to sort of say, well, a great director has to be, I don't know. I mean, you could ask Meryl Streep that question. She'd probably be able to give you a much better answer than I would. But for me, I get tremendous satisfaction through working with a director who I can have a collaboration with, to feel included in the process of putting the film together, discussing the scenes, discussing the characters, and really, really working closely together with the director. That's very important to me, because then I can understand their vision much better. I can share in what it is that they want in a much clearer way, rather than feeling as though, the actors arrive and I'm going to direct them what to do and then I'm going to go over here and film them. I sort of have to feel as though the two worlds collide. And I've been very lucky. Particularly, I think, in the last 7-8 years, I've really found that a lot, having that kind of collaborative relationship with directors.
Kate, I mean, interrupted that is, China right now becomes second largest movie market. A lot of young people begin to get into the industries. We see a lot of questions from the young professional want to get into acting. Would you give them some advice from you for those struggling in this or start to get into this career?
I think that well, it's like anything in life, but particularly with acting or performing of any kind, you have to feel confident to be able to do that, and in order to feel confident, you have to believe in yourself. So I think I would say to any young person, who was trying to get into acting or filmmaking, you just have to believe that you can do it. You have to go for it. You have to commit to it. You have to be professional about it. Keep learning. Keep an open mind. You can never know enough. You can never learn enough. And you always have to be receptive to whatever new knowledge is coming your way. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay, the last question is, I have to ask, otherwise I cannot be allowed to go back to China. As a good friend and co-worker with Leo, and what's your take on him as actor and also as a person?
He's the best man in the world. He's very, very funny. He's funnier than anyone would ever know. He's very special person. And as an actor, I just think he seems to get better and stronger all the time. And I'm just constantly so impressed by him and so proud of him. And he's a really important person in my life, so I can only ever say wonderful things about him.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.